It's an adult show, and if you ain't one of them, it's probably time to go.
What's up, everybody? I'm, of course, Hickory, the drunk and underwhelming. Welcome back. It's TDAU Live. We got a lot to get into tonight. That's right. Vermont being kind of crazy, but maybe doing something smart. We got oh, we got a bunch of teenagers stealing cars right now. That's fun. Chris Cuomo making a come around, and yeah, because like he's like, trust me, guys. I swear, I'm on your team. I promise. Bunch of money being misplaced because that's the thing that happens. Red Lobster is experiencing some times. DOJ mishandling some evidence. The Baltimore Bridge goes boom. We're gonna watch that video live. I can't wait to get my reaction. We're gonna watch the trailer for the Yorkie Werewolf, which is a fun film that a friend of mine was involved in, and yeah. Steve Buscemi. I don't mean to laugh because it sucks, but Steve Buscemi got attacked in New York, of course, because why wouldn't random people continue being attacked in New York? And yeah, hopefully Max is going to be joining me soon. We'll see. I sent him the link and everything. He said he was going to be down for tonight. We'll see if he hops in here in a minute. Anyways, we got a whole lot to show to get into, so without further ado, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do this thing.
Yeah, back, baby.
Are you saying you want to show me your tits?
This is the story of a drunk who grew up kind of a punk, and then all his friends left him, and now he's here alone. This is the story of a drunk who grew up kind of punk. Now he's here doing the drunken, underwhelming live show.
This is a weird show.
Drunken Underwhelming Live Show. Drunken Underwhelming Live Show. Drunken Underwhelming Live Show.
Drunken Underwhelming Live Show. That's right. Welcome back, TDAU Live. Here we go. This one I saw via Sticks. No surprise here. And thank you guys for joining me. Thank you to all the new subscribers. We've been doing great. Been doing a lot of reactions to AI content lately, and yes, today's reaction was absolutely hysterical. If you missed it, Mike Latoris Gently Weeps by the Pentagonal Diagonals, I think was the name of the group. But yeah, Obscurest Vinyl's been digging up some stuff, and if you're not in on the joke, you probably don't belong on the channel. Anyways, yeah, the FBI confirms it's restarting online censorship. This was from the Federalist, archived by Styx Hexenhammer himself. That's right, the libertarian Jesus from Rutland, Vermont. FBI confirms it's restarting online censorship efforts ahead of the 2024 election. FBI has resumed collusive efforts with social media companies to censor posts, claims, or disinformation, the Federalist has learned. On Monday, Senator Mark Warner, D. of Virginia, the chair of State of Senate Intelligence Committee, told reporters the federal agencies such as the FBI, Cybersecurity Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA. You know, why wouldn't we need more giant corporate, I mean, not corporate, sections of our government that have no oversight and spend too much money. Restart discussions with big tech platforms. According to NextGov FCW, this coordination will focus on removing disinformation on their sites as the November presidential election nears. Warner claimed these tasks resumed in March, around the same time oral arguments in Murthy versus Missouri, which centers on Fed censorship effects, were heard before the U.S. Supreme Court. When pressed on the validity of Warner's remarks, an FBI representative confirmed to the Federalist that the agency has resumed communications with social media companies ahead of the 2024 election. Because, you know, why wouldn't your big brain, internal deep state members be talking to social media? Because, you know, there's nothing that says election interference, like the government that is in control by one single party dictating to social media what they can say. I mean, they've already had the media pocket in their pocket. So FBI remains committed to combating foreign malign influence operations, including in connection with our elections. That effort includes sharing specific foreign threat information with state and local officials and private sector companies when appropriate and rigorously consistent with the law. Yeah, because that's totally been a thing. In coordination with the Department of Justice, the FBI recently implemented procedures to facilitate sharing information about foreign malign influence social media companies in a way that reinforces that private companies are free to decide on their own whether or not to take action on the information. Yeah, which is basically somebody being like, well, you know, we could investigate you for tax fraud. Or you could take a post down that we don't like. And we know that, you know, you'll spend, even if it's found false and you were totally vindicated, you'll have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to try to defend yourself in court. Or you could just take the post down. Yeah, that's totally what leaving it up to them free to decide means. As external affairs specialist Tess Heyer declined the Federalist request for comment whether the agency has resumed discussions with social media companies to combat what it claims to be disinformation. Said that CISA Director Jen Easterly will be participating in an election security hearing in the coming weeks. Like the election security that happened when they banned us from sharing completely legitimate news stories like the laptop or the diary or any of these other things that turned out to be completely real and have been verified. Even Snopes coming out recently to say, actually, Biden's diary was completely real. Neither the FBI nor CISA responded when they pressed on when they restarted communications. Social media companies in an effort to remove posts containing so-called disinformation from the platforms. The FBI and CISA did not identify the specific companies they're working with on such efforts. Neither agency provided an answer when questioned on how they determine what constitutes disinformation or what other federal agencies they're collaborating with in these efforts to have disinformation removed from social media platforms. Shocking. You know, they didn't actually want to give specifics on what they were doing. Yeah, absolutely stunned there. Let me check and see if I got Max in the... here, I'm going to send him I'm going to send him another request just in case. Just in case he didn't get it over on Collab. Checking to see if he saw it. And, you know, it can't really tell over there. Anyways. Yeah, that's no surprise here. I did want to... Let me... My buddy sent me... My buddy sent me a music video and I wanted to share a little clip of it. Not enough to get a copyright or anything, just a few seconds. But yeah, apparently the story is this dude was growing weed and got sentenced to it and did 5 years, and by the time he got out it was legal, which is mind-bogglingly dumb on our part. But yeah, I'll share just a second of this because Tom sent it over, and I'm almost thinking Molasses needs to do like a verse on this because it's a great beat. Like everything about this is great. Molasses might need to do a verse on this. Anyways, check this out. This is called "I Grew Weed."
I grew weed for Willie Nelson. I grew weed for Snoop Dogg. I grew weed for the love of freedom. I grew weed for God. And I grew weed for New York City. I grew weed for LA. I grew weed for the great state of Texas. I grew weed for the USA.
Yeah, just a solid tune about this guy growing weed, and yeah, he gets out after 5 years and it's already legal, which is like the most demoralizing thing I can think of. Is just like you go to jail for a crime, and when you get out after 5 years it's been legal for a year, and it's like, why can't... I'm confused. Anyways, we got some local news because, you know, Vermont being being kind of a group of wackadoos, as they are, occasionally manage to pull something together. And by wackadoos, I mean our taxes are only going up by 13.5%, I think. Only is what I say. Only 13.5% this year, so they can raise it again next year without feeling too guilty about it. And yeah, it's a mess. But this one's interesting. Like, I'm not sure how I feel about it because I'm kind of mixed. Because part of me is like, I don't think you should be able to tell a business if they're allowed to use cash or not. On the flip side, it's kind of weird that the party that would most likely love to track you, i.e. Left, which is the majority of Vermont, would say, hey, cash is a good thing. But we've always been this weird mix of redneck and hippie, and I don't know. It's a weird mix up here. But yeah, from WCAX, Vermont bill would put limits on cashless transactions. Oh, that wasn't a story. It was just the video story. I agree. Yeah. An increasing number of Vermont businesses are going cashless, a trend that caught on during the pandemic. That lists mixed feelings. And then I thought, dude, there was a tech story here like yesterday. See, that's aggravating, man. I hate when they update shit like this and it's like not the yeah. Yeah, there was an actual article, not just a video, because I don't really want to watch the news. But I suppose I'll share that.
Cash for plastic.
Our Jessica Tara checks out businesses only accepting debit or credit.
More and more Vermont businesses are going cashless. The trend became more prominent during the pandemic.
Like, which doesn't surprise any of us, right? Is that like you didn't want to handle money, hand that back and forth.
And folks we spoke with have mixed feelings on the move.
I think it's super annoying. I feel like my bank account doesn't need to know where I'm spending my money. I prefer.
Oh, wow. Which just the federal government hearing that's like, are you a drug dealer? We need to track all your transactions.
For using my debit card because it just is one thing that I need to keep track of, and it's hard for me to keep track of having enough cash at any one time.
And basically what I just heard is you're irresponsible with money. Don't get me wrong, a bunch of us are, hon. We're not, I'm not here to judge. I'm just saying.
If I have cash, I usually count it and then see how much I have, and I'm limited by that, so I don't spend as much.
The pros and cons are there for businesses too. Cashless transactions can make the job easier for employees.
It can also allow people to spend more money without realizing they're spending more money, because they're like, there's a brain disconnect when you're not actually handling money. And it's just digital, it's just numbers on the screen.
And prevent loss from potential theft. Four Quarters brewing owner Brian Eckert says the brewery went cashless during the pandemic and hasn't looked back.
Being cashless, one of the best things is we don't have to go to the bank all the time.
He acknowledges.
Yeah, I mean, that's also a benefit.
Though it can be exclusionary towards some customers.
The con is that some people don't agree with it, but we try to explain it.
A bill introduced.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not totally shocked. They left that graphic up a smidgen long, though. I don't think Brian Eckert is the state capitol photo.
In the state legislature would address the cashless questions. H.5 27 would prohibit retail businesses from refusing to accept cash unless the transaction is over $1,000. It's likely not.
Oh, okay. So basically, they want to limit cash dealings to if it's under $1,000 or not.
Going anywhere this session, and constitutional law expert Jared Carter says private businesses can make whatever payment rules they want.
Private businesses deciding whether to accept cash or not is going to be ultimately a decision for them. There may be other laws that would come into play, but from purely a constitutional perspective, I don't think private businesses are going to run into any problem if they refuse to accept cash and say.
Yeah, you know, because Vermont's always been worried about that. That's why we're passing unconstitutional laws all the time.
It's going to have to be card.
A Gallup survey shows that 64% of Americans believe all payments will become electronic at some point in their lifetimes.
Yeah, that's because we all see central banking digital currency on our horizons, miss.
Reporting in Winooski, Jessica Tara, Channel 3 News.
You know, because we know that the government wants that trackable dollar. Okay, back to sharing like that. Let me see. Quick double check. Max see that. I don't know. Yeah. Said he was down for tonight. Absolutely good. Okay. I don't know. Maybe he got his time wrong. I'm not hating. If at the very least, Max will be on next week or at the very end of the show. Really hoping he does make it. Anyways, thought this story was fun and enlightening. Police stolen vehicles nearly hit several people at Hudson and Norton. This was from WHEC 10 News, which is New York. Rochester, New York. Several apparently stolen vehicles nearly hit a number of people, including students in the area of Franklin High School. This was from the 9th. Rochester police officer told News 10 NBC photojournalist that a stolen vehicle went up onto the curb, nearly hitting several street workers. This happened shortly after 2:30 in the afternoon. Police later said people on the scene told them that students had to run out of the path of the vehicles to avoid being run over. Police said nobody was injured. Police were able to take one of the drivers, a 16-year-old boy from Rochester, into custody and recover one of the vehicles, a 2020 Hyundai Tucson. Ooh, is this the Hyundai and Kia boys at it again? Traffic flow has since resumed. The investigation is continuing, and anyone with information should call 911. This comes days after vehicles were driving recklessly across the Franklin School lawn on Wednesday. They then sped off into the street and drove away. Rochester City District Superintendent, whoever cares, said this is a community public safety issue, and the district is working with its community partners, including the Rochester Police Department, to address it. Adam Bobronski, the president of Rochester Teachers Association, says parents need to step in. Parents need to convince their children that this kind of reckless and dangerous behavior and sometimes criminal behavior is inappropriate and unacceptable and should not be tolerated. Just waiting for a tragedy to happen before we do something about it would be a mistake. Yeah, like maybe raise your children properly and teach them that like stealing vehicles and almost running people over is not normal behavior. But, you know, then that would actually mean you have to take some responsibility for the actions of the people you push out. And that's just not where we are right now. God, is this not gonna... The hell, what's going on, man? It's actually I gotta watch another video. Yeah, I thought this article was actually an article, which is the kind I'm like usually trying to pull up so I can just read them myself. But no, here we are with the hell. We actually have to watch a. Yeah, wow. Chris Cuomo is taking ivermectin, slams CNN groupthink, in a total spot to totally win back that fake lockdowner, giant Q-tipper Chris Cuomo. He's been on the horse pace the whole time, ladies and gentlemen.
Chris Cuomo is praising Joe Rogan and blasting his former network over its COVID coverage. In the podcast with Patrick Bet-David, the former CNN anchor and brother of former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo shared that he's now taking the same drug he used to make fun of. That's right. Let's watch.
I'll tell you something else that's going to get you a lot of hits. I am taking a, what do they call it? Like a regular dose, whatever. They're trying to build up of ivermectin.
Yeah, right there, ladies and gentlemen. The same guy that called Joe Rogan a conspiracy theorist and full of taking horse paste and all this other crap is, I'm on a regimen. Like what a crock of shit that most of these mainstream news guys are, and totally a turn face. Like I'm trying to I'm going to pretend that I resonate with the average American, even though I'm kind of scummy. My brother totally didn't kill 15,000 people. That's not a thing that happened. Don't you mind that. I did not, have a fun show with him at one point. Oh man, dude, Wapo, why you gotta? Gotta put in like my fake bullshit email. Yeah, I'm good. Okay. Sometimes you gotta enter your email that you put in just for crap. To a place like the Washington Post, so you can pull up an article on the show. Oh wow, they just sent me an email like that fast. Like, finish setting up your account. I'm sure it was automated, but they're probably desperate. There could be a person behind the desk trying to do that. Ukraine says defense officials stole $40 million meant for ammunition. Shocking, right? Am I like I'm supposed to be aghast? Oh my goodness. Who would have imagined that like a country known for corruption for like 2 decades totally would have been corrupt and taken a bunch of money they got given for defense and misplaced it. Wow. Ukraine says defense officials stole $40 million meant for ammunition. Security Service implicated top officials in an embezzlement scheme and said the money, state funds, not foreign aid, is being recovered. Oh, wow. So it's just state funds. It's not, because I'm totally, those state funds didn't come from foreign aid. That's wild. Ukrainian officials stole about $40 million meant for purchasing ammunition for the military of the country's internal security services, said Saturday, confirming a massive procurement fraud as Kiev seeks to assure international backers that it's cracking down on corruption. Though it was state money, not foreign aid, that was embezzled, because there's a big difference when your entire country's funded by foreign aid. Said in a statement, the scheme is likely to resonate in both Washington and Brussels, where European Union membership, continued financial and military assistance hang in the balance. Some detractors pointed to Ukraine's history with corruption as a reason to stop providing money to the country nearly 2 years into the war with Russia. Or their ability not to say, hey, maybe we should like talk about peace finally, and just say, hey, we lost. We've been taking it hard for 2 years, and maybe we should just give up. Reason to stop providing money to the country nearly 2 years of war with Russia. Ukrainian officials insist that they're being hyper vigilant and cracking down on graft. The grift? I don't know. The SBU said its investigation implicated current and foreign high-ranking defense ministry officials, managers of an arms supplier, Lviv Arsenal, who were supposed to use the money to purchase 100,000 mortar shells for the military. Money was paid in advance to Lviv Arsenal in August 2022. The shells were never supplied. After receiving the funds, the company's management transferred part of the money into the balance sheet of a foreign commercial structure that was supposed to deliver the ordered ammunition to Ukraine. Statement said, however, it did not send a single artillery shell to our country, took the received funds into the shadows, transferring them to the accounts of another affiliated structure in the Balkans. Oh, wow. You mean they just shipped it off shores? And shocking. The stolen funds have been seized, the SBU said, and adding that the question of their return to the budget to Ukraine is being resolved, even though I'm sure it's already been spent. Like, them saying it's been seized probably doesn't actually mean much. Nick said, what's up? Nick, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. We're just talking about a crazy amount of money that's getting laundered in Ukraine right now. A defense official familiar with the matter, who spoke on the condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to speak about the case to the media, said this is not a new case, as the ministry filed a criminal report to law enforcement about the stolen $40 million in May 2023 after the shells were not delivered. Ukraine's Pravda, a Ukrainian news outlet, provided many details about the case in July. 5 people from the defense ministry and the arms supplier have been served notices of suspicion. Yeah, I'm sure that'll do it. In the first stage in the Ukrainian legal proceeding, the SBU said, yeah, but I'm sure they've already left the country. Like, I don't know about you, but when I steal $40 million, I usually like to GTFO pretty fast. Adding that one suspect was detained while trying to cross the Ukrainian border. They face up to 12 years in prison. Yeah, for deserting Ukraine, not for stealing their money, I'm sure. Those allegedly involved in the scheme include, yeah, I'm not going to read that name because who cares? It was the head of the Department of Military Technical Policy, Development of Weapons and Military Equipment in the Defense Ministry. So obviously a very smart individual who said, yeah, let's, you know, we're totally going to win this thing. Yeah, that guy with his Zvitneb sounds more Russian, not gonna lie. And Zvitneb, vodka drink you, is a former member of Ukraine's parliament and was a presidential candidate in 2004. Back in, you know, it was the most corrupt of times, and it was the most corrupt of times. Man, he could have been president for Hunter on Burisma. That would have been cool. I'm sure you would have made more money that way. One of the priorities of the Ministry of Defense team is to clean up the system for unscrupulous participants inside the institution and outside. You have said on Facebook this month. Wow, that's amazing. They're posting their political things on Facebook. Wow. We're actively working on this close collaboration with law enforcement agencies. We are eradicating corruption. Yeah, I'm sure. The system resists, but we will overcome it. Yeah, that's, you could say a lot. That sounds like what part of America is trying to do. The other part's trying to lean right into it. Okay, let's see. Oh, I gotta sit through this video. We're gonna watch a video here in a sec. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna watch a video of the Francis Scott Key Bridge. Obviously we'll watch the fall when it happened. That was like what, like almost a month ago already. It's crazy to think about. But yeah, we're gonna watch the demolition of this thing. Let me pull that up real quick. Okay, let's go. Yeah, so as you can see, that part was still in the boat. Yes, Nick, there's actually a reaction on my channel. Hold on, I'm pulling it up right now. If you were to go to I'm sharing this. I will share it in just a second. Hold on. But yeah, let's watch that one more time. Just, you know, them casually blowing up a bridge that's hanging off the side of a boat. Yeah, take it in, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, just normal stuff going on. Nothing wild there. Apparently, this thing is going to be out to sea soon. Because, you know, that seems totally reasonable. Why would you not, you know, just put that thing out to sea? It seems totally reasonable. But
Power of AI with the perfect name.
Yes, sir. It looks like this. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. I'm, of course, Hickory the Drunk and Underwhelming, and welcome back to Hickory Reacts. And today on the channel, Afroman's at it again. That's right, my friends. We've got a new one. Hunter Got High. Let's get it. So yeah, as a side note, that's doing it's 3.4 thousand views on the channel. Not my most highest watch video, but it's doing pretty well. Yeah, they're at 1.9 on the official one. Not sure what we're getting into, but Afroman has a new music video for Hunter Got High. Let's get it.
Records.
Oh, nice. Hey, yo. Afro Man's work. Yeah, not something I saw coming for sure. I mentioned that. I pulled that in the reaction, but I did not see a collaboration between Afro Man and Based Records going on. Our boy at 5 Times August is over on Based, and lots of other great acts as well. But I did not see Afro Man joining forces with them to release a banger, and he did. Working with Based now. Holy crap! That's a thing. Okay, didn't know that.
Hunter. Roll up another one of them congressional blunts, brother.
Okay. This could be a full-on laugh riot. It'll probably be a little pause heavy because I'll probably be laughing pretty hard. I'm stoked. Let's get to Hunter Got High. Anyways, yeah, that's I'm still old enough to remember when, I don't know if you guys will, when Afro Man was booked at the Pickle Barrel in Killington, Vermont. He was supposed to do a show there, and he just never showed up for it. And they put up a sign out on the marquee that said Afro Man had a show, but he got high, or something to that effect. I definitely remember that. But yes, Nick, have a such a great song, funny as hell. I agree, my friend. Which made me want to say, if you guys haven't seen this song, you should check it out. It's a song by a guy who called I Grew Weed by Brett McFarland. Apparently he went to jail for like 5 years for growing weed, and by the time he got out, it was legal. And he wrote this song. I'll share a little clip.
And I grew weed for little Billy Clinton, though we did not inhale. I grew a whole bunch for heaven and a little bit for hell. I grew weed. I grew weed.
Yeah. No, I think that might need a molasses remix. I grew weed, but not in my yard. I just threw that shit right in a pipe, and I don't know. Grew grass out in my yard. I don't know. I'm thinking it's you know, molasses will be working on that shit for a while. Yes, Hit Me In is awesome too. Yes, Hit Me In. Hit Me In. Is that another song? I don't know. Anyways, back in news that doesn't really affect anybody. Hit Me Man. Hit Me Man. I'm sorry, Nick. I'm a drunk magician, dude. You shouldn't rely on me to extrapolate anything. I make poor decisions, as you can see by my background. Because there ain't no weeds in Hickory's lawn. Yeah, no, there's actually a song. Oh shit, I'll share that line. There's a I actually have to weed treat because last year was not kind to me with the wetness and the flooding. There's a there's a line in an upcoming song in the lawn care EP about there's no dandelions in the yard. I jar my weed, that I'm pretty proud of. I thought that was pretty good. The song's gonna be a collaboration song. Let me I'll pull it up real quick. This was Keep It Green. Anyways, I can share like the intro and the chorus. Oh, I didn't even bring it up on the screen. I was sitting here vibing to it. Don't mind me. Drunk magician and all.
One of those days where you got some shit to get up off your chest, and you just need to get it up off your chest. I feel like that's a big problem we got right now. We got a bunch of bitches who ain't willing to say shit. Fuck all y'all. Lie, don't keep it clean, I keep it green. My front fucking yard is my fucking scene. I'm the rap that stinks like Mallory Night. No dandelions in the yard, I jar my weed. I smoke that green, I grow that green. Press drive so hard that they grow up mean. Lungs full of dope as THC in a yard full of thick as KBG. The greenest rapper says Afro Man is out here to brag about his fucking lawn. Can't leave.
The Wiferkins in the comments saying, I'm going to spend dandelions if he mows without me again. Yeah, that's right. Apparently I'm in trouble with my beautiful assistant for mowing when she wasn't here, which I didn't realize was like a thing until until I did it. Like I did Molasses and I got the first mow in for Mother's Day, which was just, you know, like appreciating Mother Nature and stuff. It was nice. I had already done some like preliminary lawn care. We'd done some mossing and auto text. Yeah, that's a thing. We'd done like some mossing and yeah, we still got to lay down some weed and feed this coming weekend because there is a couple weeds. Last year it left us kind of rough, man. It was tough because it was so wet that there was like no time to properly throw down fertilizer and or treatments, especially late summer, especially after the flood. It just kind of continued to rain and kept us paranoid. But yeah, so I definitely got to do some weed patrol this year, which is unfortunate because I was golden last year, man. It was beautiful. That being said, no dandelions in my yard. I jar my weed for sure. That's a true statement. Regardless, I would be pissed if there was dandelions in my yard. I'm fairly upset that there's like the 3 weeds that are in my yard. And by 3, I mean like 3 individual spots, not 3 different types. Pretty sure it's just that weird, like that weird one that looks like a kind of like a spider and just spreads out. I don't know. Those things piss me off. And moss. We have an issue with moss. We live in a valley. Anyways, Red Lobster's closing at least 99 locations and its future comes into question. Earlier this year, Thai Union, the largest investor and the largest seafood restaurant chain in the country, announced it was seeking to sell its stake. At least 99 locations of Red Lobster being auctioned. Yeah, if 99 Red Lobsters ain't a problem, son. If you're having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 Red Lobsters and we're closing one more, I guess. I don't know where I was going with that. It's just anytime I see 99, I can't think about how can't help but think about Jay-Z. There's 99 locations of Red Lobster being auctioned off amid questions.
In Atlanta, just to throw me in the family. Credit cards and the scammers, hitting the licks in the banner. Legacies.